All right, looks like we are live. Welcome to another prosperity tip episode. I believe I'm on number 45. So I was counting it up from our little trip to North Carolina, and we did a whole bunch while we're there. So now I'm on episode number 45, and I'm going to talk about cringe worthy leadership. Okay. And I know that's kind of opposite. We always talk about principle centered leadership, but I want to talk about some cringe worthy leadership that I've been seeing out there my whole life, really, since I joined the military, since all these different things that have happened in home business. I've seen a lot of cringeworthy stuff happen, but I'm going to get into that today in today's episode. And this is going to be a lesson on what to not do. Okay. And then obviously you do the opposite on what you should do. But if you're coming on live with me, drop a comment below. Let me know who you are so I can shout you out on my live stream. You'll actually be a part of the live stream if you are live with me. I can show your comment on the screen. And then also, if you're on the replay, I also appreciate all the replay viewers. Type hashtag replay so I know who is watching this after. And then we'll get right into the tip here. So we got Bill Fever in the house. Good morning. Waiting for my wisdom. Nice. Thank you. We got Bryce Tomlinson. What's up? What's up? How's it going? The title it makes me cringe. Yeah, I mean that was the whole point, get people to cringe when they hear this live, right? But anyway, so thank you guys for showing up to the live. And so I'm just gonna not take any extra time here, and I'm gonna just get right into it. Hey, what's up, Dan? So here are a couple phrases, and I wrote them down. So I'm gonna pull this up on a little notepad here. So the first phrase that I've heard, and this was actually before I joined internet marketing. Hold on, moving this out of the way. There we go. Before I actually joined the internet marketing niche and actually got into business, my whole life I just grew up thinking that you needed a job to make money. Literally, I had no idea about business when I grew up. In fact, my dream job was Taco Bell. I remember being a kid. I was like, I want to work at Taco Bell so I can get free tacos or whatever. And so obviously, I never accomplished that dream. Fortunately, but that's all I thought. I thought jobs made you money. That was it. I didn't know any concepts about business, and that's why I ended up joining the military, thinking that that was my ticket out. Right? It was the ticket out of doing traditional job. I can serve my country, fight for freedom. Those are some of the things I wanted to do. And then also they said, hey, you can get your college paid for if you do this. So that was another thing. I was like, well, maybe I'll go to college if I need to get a good job, right? That's what you do. And so I went to the military. And I remember just I joined I knew that I did not fit in the military when I first joined there. Why? Well, people would start they would start, bossing you around, right? Obviously, that was my very first experience was boot camp, right? And I knew it was going to be hard in boot camp and they would boss you around and I didn't like it. I didn't like being told and forced to do things. That was just not my style. But I dealt with it. I just did what I had to do. Came home, got deployed. But throughout this whole thing, I did 12 years in the military and 3 years, 3.5 years of active duty, which was basically on deployments. And then the rest of it was kind of part time, like 1 week in a month type of thing. So 3 years full time. The rest of the 12 years was just part time. But here's one cringe worthy leadership example that I saw in the military. And one of the and also I just want to throw out there were some great leaders in the military as well that I would follow to the death, right? So the bottom line is there was good ones and then there were bad ones. And here's an example of the bad ones. And it usually only came out of the mouth of the bad leaders, okay, in the military. And so this is the phrase they used. So they would tell you what to do, you didn't want to do it, or you thought it was a stupid idea or something. And then they would come back at you like, um, what do they say? They said, uh, respect the rank, not the person. Respect the rank, not the person. And I don't know if that makes anybody else cringe. I thought that was the worst leadership advice I have ever heard. So basically, do as you're told because I'm at this level of rank, not because I'm a good person or someone worth following. And if there's any gripe that I've had in the military as I went through it, the only gripe I had about leadership there is sometimes people would go to college, they get a 4-year degree, and they would join and be in charge of people who have been in the army for 10 years. And because the officer ranks always just go kind of trump all uh, NCO ranks, right? So basically, they just skip ahead of the line and all of a sudden they're in charge. And usually those are the leaders that said, respect the rank, not the person. And I just thought that was so cringeworthy. I hated that concept. I'd rather follow someone who was in the trenches with you, who was the first one out, last one back, right? The ones who preached what they would actually do, like so they wouldn't just tell you to do something that they wouldn't do themselves. So there was a lot of great examples in the military, like I said, but then there were some cringeworthy ones, and it was usually the ones that said, "Respect the rank, not the person." I think you should respect everybody, right? I think if you want to be a leader, you need to do the things, do some actions that would want people to respect you as a person, right? And I respect leaders and I follow leaders, or I follow leaders that I respect. So I hated that concept. You guys can let me know what you think about that concept. And also, is there any other cringeworthy leadership examples that you know? Type it below. So that was cringeworthy leadership example number one to avoid. Okay. Now here's number two. So after transitioning into home business from the military, I started running into all these things that would happen in the business, in home business and business in general, where like someone would be super loyal to a company, then they would switch, or they would be super excited about something and then they would go somewhere else, or whatever. And so here is one phrase that I heard that I thought was cringeworthy. I don't know about anybody else, but here it is. It's not personal, it's just business. Has anyone ever heard that before? It's not personal, it's just business. And I don't know about you guys, but that is, to me, personal. Okay. Like if someone said that to me, I don't care who it is, business is personal. And if you don't think that, you are not a good person. Okay. Like if you think that you could just cutthroat someone, screw someone over, do something unethical because it's business, that is not cool. That is not cool at all. Business is personal. I think everything is personal. And personal is personal, business is personal, anything is personal. So you should always keep that in mind when working with people. If you don't think business is personal, you should not be in business because you are a bad leader. Okay. Like that is a bad trait to have. Like, I think we should build great relationships with people. I think we should, even if, like, so for example, the reason I think they say this phrase is because it helps their bottom line, right? So they're basically like, oh, I'm going to do this to you and screw you over so that the bottom line is better, so that I can make more money. And if everything is about money and making more money over and like devaluing your friendships, like I think of that show, and I don't even know how true this is, but I don't know if you guys have seen The Social Network. Has anyone seen that? I mean, we're on Facebook right now, but the show was about Facebook, right? And how it went and how it grew. I don't know if it was actually true. I've never verified any of this information, but in that show, Mark Zuckerberg kind of screwed the partner out of his share of the company, right? They devalued his shares. They basically kicked him out of the company, and the whole show was about the lawsuit on getting that money back. And I thought about that. Mark Zuckerberg did that exact promise or that same thing. It's just business, right? He took a personal relationship, completely severed it so that he could make more money. And if that's all you're going to do, that's wrong, right? That is completely wrong. And so he shouldn't have done that. They built the company together. He should have been half of the or whatever percentage of the company that that guy owned. He should have just kept it forever, or maybe bought him out some way. But the way that he did it, it was not cool. It was not cool. Now, again, I don't know if that story is actually true. It was a movie, but so with the story in the movie, that's what happened. And so, anyway, I just wanted to throw those stories out there and just know that business is personal. And I think if you want to build a successful business, you need to realize that. Like, don't screw people over, right? Help people. Like the whole reason I started my own company with my business partner Paul is because we saw all these bad examples of leaders out there and non-principle centered leaders, and we were like, okay, let's be the change. Let's create a community of principle centered leadership. And that's what we do. Our vision here is freedom through principle centered leadership. And so we follow principles, we follow things that we believe that everybody should follow. And one of those rules is the golden rule: do unto others as we would love to be done unto us. And so these are some of the core founding principles that we found our company on. If you want to find out more about that, I'll put a website up. You can go to seekprosperity.com/links. But anyway, let me know your cringeworthy examples. I think there's one more I want to share. I want to share a bonus before I get to the comments. A bonus cringeworthy is I'm doing it, and this kind of relates to the last one. Business is not personal. I've heard this before, where someone would do something unethical, and then they would use, well, I was just doing it for me and my family, so that me and my family can survive, or me and my family can make more money. I was doing it for my family. And that's noble. That's cool. But think about this for a second. I believe you can do business in a good way, in an ethical way, and still provide for your family, you and your family. So making an unethical business decision to make more money for your family, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And when I heard that statement, when I heard this person say this on their social media profile, they're like, "I did this thing for my family, and I'm getting criticized about it." And I thought about this, and I'm like, "Well, here's the thing. Like, you can still provide for your family doing an honest thing, okay? You don't have to do the unethical thing to provide for your family. You could do both. You can provide and do the honest thing. And I think it's so crazy that people use these terms, and it actually reminded me of almost like that's kind of a selfish standpoint to be around. Don't you guys think, like, who here would love to follow someone who's just completely selfish, all about them, all about their family, all about them, me? Or would you rather follow someone who's about you, who's about helping you, helping other people, helping everyone else and their family? Which one would you rather follow? The selfish leader, just about them and their family, or the leader who is about them and their family and others? You see the difference there? So I just wanted to throw those three cringeworthy terms out there. I believe in principle centered leadership, and that's what we strive to do. Am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. Have I made mistakes? Yes, I've probably made most of the mistakes that I've heard here. And I've changed. I've been focusing on principle centered leadership, becoming more principle centered, and that's what I think everybody else should do as well. So anyway, I'm going to go to the comments, And let's see here. Let's see. Here we go. Ruben, welcome, Ruben. Dan worked at Wendy's. Nice. Yeah, I think my mom got paid like $2.50 at Denny's or something. That was an interesting. What's up, Monty? Bill Fever says great leaders would do everything they asked to do. Also, they would listen to see if there's any good ideas. Awesome. I love that. I can relate to my experience in the Marine Corps. Yeah, for sure. And again, like I don't want to make this like a knock on the military because I am truly appreciative of the 12 years I did there and people that I served while we're there. All right. That's weird. There's someone that popped in from like a guest. That was weird. All right. Thanks. I've always been tough to follow via rank. When you know, you know. Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, that saying respect the rank does not make me cringe or does make me cringe as well. That what that tells me is there's a person a lot shortcomings and inferiority complex. Yes, exactly. Hold on, let me take this off. We're in the comments. Okay. Thank you for that, Nick. Let's go to David. The Navy and other services use that phrase. My they were leaders. Yeah, there were leaders for sure, but it was kind of funny. Like the good leaders never had to say that. You just followed them, right? The bad ones are the ones that had to say it, which is pretty hilarious, actually. Everything is personal. Yes. Yep. Twice on personal business. All right. I'm always really cringe and actually hurt when I saw a respected leader blatantly doing something or asking to tell someone else that was morally unethical, questionable, or totally wrong. Yes, I agree. Bryce. Monty says it makes me cringe when bosses bully employees. Yes, and that's kind of why I am drawn to home business because we are our own bosses and are the people that we help, they are their own bosses as well. Now, can we advise people what to do? Yes, but do they have to do it? No. So I love that our leadership in what we do is purely inspirational and just advice. It's never forced, right? So that's the difference. All right, so we got Nick. It's not personal, yet another form of behavior that reflects the person's shortcomings. That's a coward. Thanks, Nick. All right, golden rule is important. Treat others. Yeah, and there's a lot of principles that we can follow. The golden rule is a big one. Another one from our Freedom Crusader manifesto is the long cut is the real shortcut. So trying to take these shortcuts, yeah, it's that's usually what ends up happening is it becomes a business decision over personal relationships when you start looking for those shortcuts. Unfortunately. All right, life is personal, everything's personal. Yes, exactly. All right. You deliberately missed the social network. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good to kind of look like it was kind of a cool story to hear all that stuff, like what happened. If it's true, I kind of don't like Zuckerberg very much, but I don't know how true. You know how like Hollywood they dramatize everything, so I don't know if everything all those details are 100% true, but you never know. Bill Gates did the same thing to Steve Jobs. Yeah, I guess the difference there is Bill Gates was a totally separate company, right? Whereas Mark Zuckerberg had a business partner that he screwed over. So they were in business together, whereas they were competitors. So that's the only difference there. Probably some license taken from the movie, but it definitely is somebody trying to tell their side. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole movie was about the lawsuit because there was a lawsuit and he did win. Like the business partner won and got a payout. That part is true. We don't know all the little details on why it happened, but that business partner did get lots of millions of dollars in the lawsuit. All right. Let's see. Bonus cringe. Yeah. All right, cool. I had several managers throughout the years just sit in the office, not lifting a finger, and their employers even know. Dang, that's crazy. Yep. Facebook user. Nope. Okay. Many leaders lie and tell people to buy crap products just so that they can earn money and tell people that they're making marketing strategies and they don't even use themselves. It rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that is true. I'm glad you brought that up, Gio. So another cringeworthy leadership example is you are telling people to buy something that you don't personally use and saying it's good. So that's a good one. So thank you, Gio. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of comments today. You guys are amazing. Helping others long term, be ignored in business, favoritism. I'll always follow the leader who includes everyone's well being. Awesome. Facebook user says, great topic, Mike. Thank you, Facebook user. Watching live. Thank you for principal centered leadership. Thank you, Christian. I believe karma is a good thing. Thank you, Nick. Later, Gates also bailed jobs out of when Apple was collapsing. Nice, cool. So that's a good example of competition helping competition. So good stuff. So anyway, that's it, guys. Again, if you want to learn more about principle centered leadership, you can go to seekprosperity.com/links. I have a whole bunch of free resources that you can use for any business. And then I also have our company that you can take a look at if you would like. And with that, make it a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Prosperity Tip episode. Take care and bye for now.